Good morning, everybody. My name is John. I am with FNP Wargamers, and this is our new morning show. It is a bit of a test run. I am trying to come up with some new formats for us, and it looks like we'll probably be running this format through all of November just to try it out, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. If you're able to join us on Twitch during while this is live, fantastic. If not, we're going to upload it, of course, to our video gallery on Twitch, and it's going to be on over at our YouTube channel, FNP Wargamers. And you'll be able to jump on there, like, subscribe, and leave some comments. If you're leaving comments, excuse me, if you're leaving comments on YouTube or on Twitch after the show is over, we'll try to answer them, go back and answer them, especially if you also jump on Facebook and put comments up on there or some questions and whatnot. So I had intended to cover the Warhammer Underworlds today and the Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm going to go ahead and skip over the Warhammer Underworlds. It's already been out for well over a year now, I think almost 2 years, and the one I was going to cover was the one that you can get at Barnes & Noble. It's a much more condensed version of the game, but I'm not going to cover something that's already been out. So let's focus today on Marvel Crisis Protocol, because this is an upcoming game. On November 15th, it's going to be released from Atomic Mass Games, as you can see on the little screen there, and released through Asmodee and Alliance distributors. So I don't know if any other companies are going to be releasing it. I think it might just be an Asmodee and Alliance exclusive release. Now this game is a skirmish level miniatures game featuring all of your favorite, well, maybe not all of your favorite, but a vast array of favorite characters, heroes and villains alike. And the game is really, I'm going to tell you, it's probably going to be the breakthrough game of the year. And I don't know how the award season works, but maybe next year, I think the Emmy Awards or whatever the awards thing is for games, I really predict, maybe even at Board Game Geek later on this month, I think it's going to win a lot of awards. The game is very tight. The rules is very crisp, very, very easy to understand and play. And they also kind of eliminate, goodness, excuse me. They also eliminate a great many of those, well, what does this mean? And who goes first? And why does this go first? Whatnot. The rules are really good in clarifying what who has priority and what rules have priority. So there might be, say, a basic rule in the rule book, right? And and then you might have a special power that might how do I word this, that might be in conflict on which one takes priority. Well, they're very nice and put in there in a little box, and I'll even show you up on the rules that if you have a special ability that does an out of turn or skips over a priority or something like that, you always do the like the character card special ability. It will always supersede the basic rule. So, goodness, I am sorry. I did not have coffee today, and I'm not going to go into all that. So if you go to the Atomic Mass Games page, you can actually see everything, and I'm going to really recommend that you guys do. They also have a Marvel Crisis Protocol Facebook page. There's also a Houston Marvel Crisis Protocol page. Make sure you jump on both of them, hit a like, hit subscribe or follow, and just keep up on all the up-to-date information. Now, one of the cool things I like about this game is that they give you, they're not going to charge you $30, $40 for a hardback book and then $30, $40 for a gosh darn army book. And next thing you've got $100 in books before you even get to your miniatures. So what they have very nicely have done is given you two different downloads on their main page. Let me go up here to the top. You can actually click, and they've got rules. This is their communication, their transmissions, the gallery. The shop takes you to the Asmodee shop. I'm going to really, really strongly recommend you go through your local, your friendly local game store. Like come to Atomic Hobbies. We're getting into this. If you want to contact them, home and then pre-launch information. So here, let me get rid of the rules just so you can see, just in case you're curious. Hit the rules, and it takes me to a page where you can actually download the official Crisis Protocol rulebook. No cost, unless you want to print it yourself. Then it's going to cost you ink and paper, and you might have to, or bindings if you go to like Office Max or Office Depot, whatever, Kinko's. I'm not even sure which one of those are around, and have that printed off and bound up for you. You can also download a digital book, and at the very least, I recommend that you download this digital rule book in PDF form so you can read through it. It's only 29 pages, very short for rules, and a lot of it is just actually there's a big section in the back is just like a condensed version of all the rules that you could probably print off and have a cheat sheet. So it's not as many pages of rules as you think. So a lot of it is just the fluff at the beginning, index at the bottom. So it's actually probably about 20 pages of rules that cover each of the phases. Now I've already kind of pulled up a let me back up here. Goodness. Sorry for clearing my throat so much. I'll try to cover the mic next time. So I already went ahead and downloaded, well actually I've downloaded this on like 8 different computers, and very not smart of me. I've got it like on 2 work computers, getting it ready for the stuff we're going to be doing at my work. I've got it on this computer, I've got it on my tablet, I've got it on my laptop, I've got even a copy on my phone, just because like, oh, what is that rule? How does that play? And I'll sit there and re-download it. I'm sure this computer has it 3 or 4 times on here. So like I said, this is the complete core rulebook. What it does not give you is what each of the different type of miniatures, the different characters, their rules. That comes with each character pack. So as a precaution, I'm going to recommend is that when you get your pack, you get your characters, you have those character cards, I would consider taking a screenshot or maybe photocopying them just in case you lose it. You don't want to be without those rules later on down the line. Just as a precaution, at least take a picture with your phone, or take them to the Office Depot, spend 12 cents and photocopy them all at the same time. That way you at least have a backup. So interesting note here is that Will Pagini, and I'm not sure if I'm butchering that name. I apologize if I am. He is a local boy. He used to live here in Houston. Used to run Asgard Games. He left to go work at Privateer Press, and I don't know the whole story, but he jumped over to Atomic Mass Games, and he's the senior game developer. So awesome, Will. It's great to see a Houston guy rising up. So there's a brief overview of the game. So we're looking at from the very first page, that's the cover page, to when we get to how to play. So you're looking at 8 pages out of 29. So now we're down to 21 pages of rules. And I'm going to just kind of skip forward a little bit, and then we can come down to the appendixes. So 3 more pages. So in reality, ladies and gents, we're sitting at 18 pages of rules. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole thing because there's a lot more to get to. But I'm going to give you kind of a brief rundown of the gameplay. I'm just going to read their little spiel right here. Crisis Protocol is a tactical miniatures game for 2 players in which hand-picked squads of Marvel characters clash over a customized battlefield and attempt to be the first to complete their mission objectives. Now, what are the mission objectives? Well, you've got a stack of cards called the Crisis cards, and they have a variety of interactions. So the gameplay it's not infinite, but I won't know how to do the math until I see how many actual Crisis cards are coming in the set. But they're when you draw 2 cards, you're going to be having multiple different game types going on. Then you add in the different types of characters, the terrain. So I would say if you play through every iteration of every scenario, every mission objective, every scenario possible, then you have been playing a lot of this game and you really, really, really love it. So essentially what you're going to be doing with this game is you are going to assemble your squad, which can be a combination of Marvel heroes and villains. Sometimes that might happen. We've seen it in comic books. You might build your own customized team based on your favorite characters, or maybe you base your team on your favorite team. Like you want to be the Avengers or the Masters of Evil or the X-Men, which I think we're looking at like wave 4 or 5 way down the line for that to happen. They are currently not listed. We're going through all the current, most of the MCU characters, even though they're not necessarily the MCU version of those characters. So keep that in mind. So here's an example of a crisis card. You're always going to have multiples of these, and this rule book gives you a nice breakdown of what each part of this talks about. What each little section is and what they mean and whatnot, and how you do your setups, your scoring, whatnot. So that's really cool. Mission tracker, you're going to track your victory points and what round it is. It looks like it's over a course of 6 rounds. There could be more, but this game is going to play really fast. Now, I'm going to scroll down. So here's an example of a character card. I can't zoom in much more. But once you go to once you download the book yourself, you'll be able to see the character card, and it gives, of course, a breakdown of what everything is on here. So you'll know what all the little symbols mean, what their attack power, how much they cost, everything like that. Like number 9 here is how much the characters actually cost. So like Captain America cost 4 points for your team. Your teams are made up of 10 points. You might be able to go higher, but the average is a 10-point team. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through here. Everything has special effects, special abilities. You have your superpowers. You have passive abilities, active abilities, or abilities that you have to activate. And all that is going to be explained here in the rules. Everything from flight, wall crawling. Pretty sure we're going to see teleportation, phasing, the whole shebang. Now, dice-wise, they have their own proprietary dice. They're 8-siders. You might be able to essentially grab an 8. If you need more dice, you could probably grab an 8-sider and just take a look at one of their dice and assign the numbers accordingly to each side. I would recommend just getting an extra dice pack. The main core box does come with 10 dice, and you can get an extra dice pack, which I think it's either 5 or 10 dice for $10. I think it's 10 dice for $10. I would recommend just getting an extra dice set. I mean, what's an extra $10? Just to have some extra dice for you and your friend to play. And then they give you what the symbols on each dice mean, what it means for in-game effects. You get all these great measurement tools. I believe some of them are plastic, some are cardboard, like these, like this. Sorry about that. This movement tool right here. That's probably plastic because it can bend as you go around corners. You don't have to like go in a straight line. You don't have to like try to grab your measuring tape and try to wheel it around. You can see that it's actually a little concave. I think that's the word, that you can just set that up against the round base, and when you're ready to move, you just plop them right on the other side and base-to-base contact, and that tells you exactly how far you can move, and you don't have to fiddle around with, I think I moved a full 8 inches. I might have gone a half inch more, something like that. Great to avoid. There's going to be team tactic cards, and then it talks about building a roster. A team for Crisis Protocol consists of any 10 characters. When building a team, there are no restrictions on pairing, blah, 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 blah. So I was wrong about the points. There might be something about that, and I might have missed that earlier, but I think that's what that means, the team of 10, up to 10 characters maybe. I'll need to look over that one more time because I keep missing that. You play on a 3x3 table, which is really good. They've got some game mats. I'll show you guys that coming out. They got sides A and B, and if you happen to have any 4x6 mats, or from like Warhammer 40,000, or the 4x4s from Infinity, very easy to implement those into this game. So I highly recommend, though, going ahead and buying that 3x3. Let's see here. You're going to be putting in tons of terrain. Now, the biggest thing about this game, what I like, and why it's going to play fast and also be relatively fair rules-wise, is that you have priority. You'll dice off to see who has priority, and from there, you will take turns activating a character, going through their full sequence, his or her full sequence of movement, any actions or power use they want, and of course, through that use of abilities, there might be activations, and your opponent might have some reactions to those activations, but it always comes down to priority. Who goes first? Whoever has priority, his character will do all of his actions first, and then you'll resolve any of those your opponent's actions, and vice versa, all the way down the line. And the combat is very fast, especially when you are playing on a 3x3 table and you got 5 to 10 characters. They got civilian tokens, but if you're able to get any tokens, or any characters for maybe The Walking Dead or Infinity, which the models are going to be rather small. I don't see. I don't know why I'm looking around at my screen here. I can perfectly see it just fine. I don't have any pictures of scale, but for example, Ultron is bigger than a Space Marine Terminator. Iron Man is skinnier, but just as tall as, a Primaris Space Marine, to give you guys some size. If you've got any of the Fallout Wasteland Warfare models from Modiphius, those models, and those models, they are about the same size. Just a little bit shorter than the Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures, but they could be used as civilians as well. So, anyways, you build your squads. You got I'm not going to go over all the mechanics because you guys can read over this all. There's definitely plenty of videos out there. And I've got another person, Andreas. Him and I are going, once we have the box in hand, we're going to do an unboxing video. There we go. Unboxing video. Then we're going to do a video for the movement phase, or the activation phase, the fight phase. Actually, here we go. The power phase, activation phase, and the cleanup phase, and then what you can do in each of those phases. So it'll probably be about 6 or 7 videos. We're still trying to figure out how we want to do it. They will not be live streamed. They will be, we might live stream it and record it at the same time. I think actually that's what we'll do for you guys. That way, if you guys want to interact and ask questions about it, we can help you out there. But we're going to walk through each phase in separate videos, probably about a good 15-20 minute video, because we want you guys to just be able to watch one video and go, okay, how do I do this phase? How do I do combat? And that way you don't have to watch a 2-hour long video or something like that and have to find out, well, what part is that I'm concerned with? How do I resolve damage? How do I score points? How do I activate my powers? How do I get power tokens? Which, by the way, at the start of after all characters have done their actions at the start of every round, including the first battle round, you get power tokens. And you can also get power tokens when you take damage. So it's a nice give and take. So you're not like, well, I can't generate enough power and I'm getting wailed on. Well, you're getting wailed on, but you're also generating some power to activate your abilities later on. But we'll get into that when we do the videos. So, and this is not a 2D game, obviously, because they have three-dimensional miniatures. But you can attack people that are on roofs. You can throw stuff like you see right behind Ultron here. You've got a dumpster. There might be pillars. There might be cars, buildings. One of the videos said, oh, no worries, Epion. I was reading one video or watching one video, they were mentioning that you would be able to pick up a building and throw it. I haven't found the rules for that, but there might be something actually on a character's card effect. So really cool idea there, especially when you're be able to throw people into terrain and use terrain against people, like the Hulk picking up a baby blue Prius and smashing Ultron over the head with it. These are going to be really cool effects that you're going to be able to do. So not only are you using your favorite Marvel characters, battling it out in a miniature game, but you're doing it in 3D, full three-dimensional. So, height, distance, everything comes into effect. Plus the terrain is not just for line of sight blocking. It's actually interactable. Interactable? Yeah, I think that's the word. You can interact with it. So that even adds a whole nother element to the game. So you're looking at probably about a 45-minute to an hour game with about 10 characters. This game, like I said, is going to play fast. And it already, even though they don't have a tournament set up for it, a tournament play, they have organized play, which is essentially matched play. So those people that are tired of, say, Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, X-Wing, maybe you can't find enough people to play Wild West Exodus with you, or you really love Malifaux, but nobody wants to play Malifaux, or Infinity, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to play Infinity, I'm burnt out. Well, here's another game that's going to be a lot lighter on the rules, especially compared to, like, say, Infinity and Malifaux, and actually a lot of games. So this is going to be a very fast-paced game, easy on the rules, easy to understand, and probably one of the fastest games you're going to play next to Warhammer Underworlds, which is, about a 15-20 minute game. So this is probably about 30, depending on how many characters you and your opponent are doing. So anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, or maybe your first couple games might be a little bit longer as you're reading the rules and kind of stumbling through it. But man, you're gonna have badass characters. Baron Zemo, Spider-Man, and let's actually get into the gallery. You guys can download these rules for free, like I said, on the Atomic Mass Games page. You can get the printable PDF and download it digital. I recommend doing it. Just look through the rules. At least look through the rules, see if you dig it, and if you like it, man, then buy into it. It's not that hard. We're going to be having a demo copy at my store, Atomic Games and Hobbies. Sorry. The Atomic Hobby Shop. You'll be able to come there, try it out. I'll have my own set there and terrain set and everything. So your first box set, the core set, comes with, I'm going to scroll through the first set of characters here the best I can. So Baron Zemo, Black Widow, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Crossbones, Dr. Octopus, Iron Man, Red Skull, Ultron, and Spider-Man are in the core set. So 10 characters in the core set. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 on 5. 5 villains, 5 heroes. And you can mix them up, so that's even better. During the first wave release with this core set, you'll be able to get the Hulk and MODOK, the original MODOK, not the MCU version of MODOK. So that's even... Actually, I don't think they put MODOK in MCU yet. I think that was not Baron Zemo. I can't think of the guy's name from... with the Winter Soldier, the guy that was in the computer. Zola, whatever. So you're going to actually be able to get 12 characters if you buy the Hulk and MODOK at the same time. So that's pretty cool. The first few waves have already been announced. They're going to be releasing these in 2 or 3 kits. I don't know. I mean, each wave will be 2 to 3 a month, basically. So that's really cool. We won't have to wait for 6 months for something else to pop out. So I'm going to actually come down here to the packs, because even though we have the characters here, Black Panther, Killmonger, Okoye, Shuri, Venom, Thor, Valkyrie, original Valkyrie, not MCU Valkyrie. This is Valkyrie from the actual comics, the Defenders, Broomhilda, Hela, Loki, Vision, and the Winter Soldier. So here's the core set. I'm going to get that up over there. Hulk, MODOK, those are all going to be in your first release. There's a New York terrain pack that's going to be coming. That actually is an extra set of terrain. The Marvel Crisis Protocol already has that set of terrain. So if you want more terrain, there you go. You can add it. And then the first couple waves, I don't know who's first, but I would guess. Actually, I have a pretty good idea. So we have Black Panther, Killmonger, Shuri, and Okoye both in boxes. I think they're about $34 in a box. So you're basically paying about $17 for these characters, which is way cheaper than anything you paid for in pretty much any other game, especially when you only need a small team of characters. Venom, the bigger characters are going to be the same price, I think. Thor and Valkyrie together, Loki and Hela, which is okay. Vision and Winter Soldier. Some of the packs might not make sense. And then there's another terrain pack. I'll click on that so you can see that. Let's jump over to the core set. All right, as I said, core set. I'm going to kind of zoom through here so you can... it won't let me zoom through more. But you can come down here and see what the actual contents are. So this is how I know that the box actually has all that terrain, because all this terrain is in that terrain pack. So you're getting all the team tactic cards. Oh, here we go. 6 objective cards. So there's at least six objective cards, and there's also 3 map cards. So there are multiple ways to play the game. I suspect that there will be more objective cards and crisis cards coming out later on, but at least 6 scenarios plus the different map cards. So what's that? 18 different possible variations of the game before you start adding in the characters and the different types of terrain. So that's actually not too bad. So okay, yeah, and these are not cardboard. They're not. These are all plastic. So here's the next one that's going to be coming out. Dump truck and a Oscorp fuel truck. So really cool. $39.95. Okay, that's not too bad for extra terrain. You might be able to find some toy cars. The scaling, actually, I don't have the web page here. You'd have to be on Facebook. I don't want to pull up my Facebook for you guys because I don't want you to see any of this stuff on there. But their actual Facebook page has a pinned post at the top, and the Facebook page is Marvel Crisis Protocol. The pinned post at the top will actually has a variety of links, and one of the links tells you about the scaling. But as I told you before, like Ultron is bigger than a Space Marine Terminator, and Iron Man is the same height but just skinnier than a Space Marine Primaris Space Marine. So you have an idea of the scaling. Now, they also have a link on the page so you can see. So this actually is going to tell us what actually is probably going to be coming. First wave, we know that there's going to be a dice pack. We'll actually see how many dice are actually going to be in that pack. The Hulk, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Core Set, MODOK, extra tools, the terrain pack, and then I'm guessing the first wave that might come out in November is going to be Black Panther and Killmonger, Okoye and Shuri, and Venom. I don't know for sure, but it looks like they're going to be the first wave after the initial release. The initial release, though, does not involve those 3 box sets. So that's still pretty cool. You're still getting 12 characters at release, and then every month you're getting, looks like 2, 4, about 5 characters a month. And you don't even have to buy those characters if you don't want to. Now, we know that the next wave will be like Thor, Loki, Hela. We also know that Miles Morales Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen from the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie. Let's see here. We know that Guardians of the Galaxy and the Black Order and Thanos are all set to come out. We've already seen the miniatures for those. Those are set to come out sometime next year. There's another alternate version of Spider-Man coming out. So we know that there's a lot of miniatures coming, and I believe that we've got about 4 waves already announced. And currently not Spider-Man, but the X-Men are being considered. We just don't know what's going to happen with the X-Men because of the whole, I don't know how this ties in. If there's any issues between, MCU or Disney, Fox, or anything like that. I'm assuming it doesn't have anything to do with that. I'm assuming that Asmodee and Atomic Mass Games are going directly through Marvel, so they have the entire range of characters. I'm assuming that's what they have. So we might see the X-Men, Fantastic Four. I imagine we'll see some of the Marvel Knights, especially as these new Disney Plus shows kick off. We might see Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, the stretchy girl. We'll probably see those coming up very soon. Hawkeye, I'm sure, is right around the corner. So this dice pack, let's see how many dice. Oh, you get an extra 10 set of dice. So that's actually worth it. So I would actually spend that $10. So now you have 20 dice. You have plenty of dice for both you and your opponent. And because you know you're going to lose dice, you're going to leave them at the store. So that's all I wanted to really kind of touch on. This game is going to be super hot. I'm telling you guys and gals, this game is going to sell fast. And as long as the community keeps pushing and keeps working with it, this game, now it's not going to eclipse, it's not going to like ruin or shut down Games Workshop. It'll definitely push Privateer Press a little bit more out of the way, Warlord Games a little bit more out of the way. But as long as they stay faithful with these rules and the characters and they keep putting it out, and the amount of social media that they've been investing in this, and creating videos and supporting this game, I really think that this is going to be a big hit. We've been waiting for a few years since Marvel pulled the rights from Knight Models, who were doing the DC and Marvel miniature game. So we've been waiting for a Marvel's miniatures game for quite some time, and now I think they're striking the perfect time of the year, perfect time after Endgame is already over and done with, and now people are going to be craving more. So perfect time, and this is going to be a good competitive game. I don't think it'll be too long before we see it up on ITC and the BCP app. Battlescribe is probably going to have it once it drops. I mean, this game, it's going to be hot. And at Atomic Hobby Shop, we are going to be pushing it. I've ordered a whole bunch of terrain for the store, my own personal terrain. We're going to create a whole city block. I'm going to recreate a couple famous buildings from some TV shows, not necessarily Marvel movies, but some TV shows that you guys will recognize. Maybe some Clerk stuff, maybe some The World's End type things. So, and of course, the Winchester is going to be made. I love that. I love that movie, Shaun of the Dead. The Winchester is going to be made. So, with that said, I think that's about it. Oh, no, I do have something. One more thing. I'm a little bit over my time here, and I apologize. If you are in Houston, or if you are one of our listeners in Austin or San Antonio, Dallas, El Paso, we are going to be doing at the Atomic Hobby Shop a charity 40K tournament this month. We're going to stick to the normal rule set of 2,000 points, 3 max detachments, the regular, what you expect from a tournament, ITC missions, ITC rules, point scoring, the works. We're just going to toss in a couple extra things. We're going to be doing, for charity, $1 rerolls. Every dollar that you spend, you get a ticket, and you can use that to reroll as many of your dice as you want. No rerolling, rerolls. And as an extra little twist to it, because this is a fun event, it's for charity. Once per phase, you can make your opponent reroll one of his dice. Not a reroll. You can't make them reroll a reroll. Just a reroll. You can, but once per phase, you can use one of your tickets to make them reroll one of their dice in each phase. That's the max for that. And with your phases, you can reroll as much dice as you want as you have tickets. And then all that's going to go to a local veterans group. And we're also going to be doing a Toys for Tot drive, which each toy that you drop off will get you a raffle ticket. And we're going to be doing a big box raffle at the very end. It could be the Blood of the Phoenix, it could be the new Kill Team box, could be the new Feast of Bone box. We haven't decided yet, but it's going to be a big box just for you guys. So We're going to have that ad, or all that event detail up later on today. So I highly encourage you guys to come on out, support pretty much support the store, but support the store supporting the veterans groups out there. We're going to get big group picture of everybody. This is going to be a regular event, so you're still going to get your guys' prize support. You're still going to get a trophy at the end, but we're also trying to generate revenue for a charity. I don't know if that's the right terminology, revenue for a charity. We're trying to generate money to donate to a charity. Cash is preferable because then we can do a big deposit and have a big shiny check to hand off to these people. It's a lot easier to work that out than it is with credit cards, but we'll still accept credit cards. So enough about that. Watch for that today, probably around 3-4 o'clock. With that said, enjoy your weekend. Have a wonderful time. If you're in the Houston area, make sure you swing by the store. Pre-order the Marvel Crisis Protocol and get ready for our first initiation league on the 15th, where you'll be able to get some free swag. And then we'll have a launch day free swag and then crisis day free swag over the course of November and into December. And probably December will be our first big organized play day. All right, with that said, thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Make sure you hit subscribe right about here. Amazon Prime members, you can get it for free. 1 month, every month, you can get a free subscription. Make sure you do that. Patreon supporters, thank you very much. Thanks to Hammerhead Games, the Atomic Hobby Shop, GameMat.eu, and our partners CreatureCaster for supporting us. And with that said, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Yes, no, not tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys on Monday.